Bada bing, bada boom. We're back. Welcome. It's another Tuesday afternoon, and the Roll for Mischief crew is doing what we do. The name of the game is Voloheen, Winds of War. The name of this episode, episode 12, is Finnegan's Finporium, and the subtitle for this fourth session here is Stranger Things. Thing, thing, things,
Things.
thingings. Yeah, I'm struggling with how to pronounce that. But anyways,
Stranger Fins?
Stranger Things. It's got the G at the end, man.
Ah.
Things. So anyhow, where we last left our characters was that there was a sound that started to emanate, seemingly from the box that Egner is holding that Ellie had given to him much earlier, back in like session 1 of this episode. And the sounds emanating from this box seem to be reaching into every character's personal hell that they have been experiencing. So it's a universal happening that is really shaking things up in a big way. And take it away, Carrie.
Okay, well, I think we should pick back up with Agner after hearing this and putting it together. This was what Ellie gave him. Also, the sound, so when the sound stops playing, you notice your hearing kind of going again. It's almost like everything closes back up once the sound has stopped. But you find you can play it again and again.
Okay. Wait, so the sound, it's not, is it like, hold on, describe what the total sound, or like, is it just this ambient noise?
The recording is the ambient noise. Basically, you put it together that Ellie recorded this in your little homestead bit. She recorded this specifically for you, it sounds like. While it's playing, you can hear your movements. You can hear your footsteps again. You can hear. I mean, there's not a lot to hear, but you occasionally get. You get the sound of other people's footsteps, but they sound relatively far away. But as soon as the recording stops playing, it's like everything closes back up again, and you're immediately deaf again. Like,
For sure.
It's like this is the only thing kind of cracking through that.
For sure. I was like expecting like a message from Ellie in this or something. So, and Egner was expecting that too. So I think what he's going to do is, like, in this kind of just obsessive kind of way, and this is like the first way he's been able to get his senses back and be able to get like a hold on some kind of reality. And also, since he's expecting, like, oh, maybe there's a secret message that Ellie left in here and I just need to press this thing enough times, he's just going to keep on pressing it and keep on pressing it. Every time the recording stops, he's going to make it go again. And he's just going to keep on doing that just because he's got something real, something that's actually, yeah.
Okay. There doesn't seem to be a secret message in it. It is just the exact same thing played over and over again.
That's alright.
But in each of these sort of snippets of when the sound is playing, do a perception check for me.
Okay, and it's based on hearing, so
Yeah.
I'll get that bonus. Get that bonus. Oh, another natural 20. What's going on? What is happening? This is not allowed. This is against the rules. It's
Well,
27 perception check.
It is very clear that you are lying.
Well,
That's the only reason why someone would get so many 20s on a live stream.
well, I did have advantage also. Yeah.
Okay, so you continue moving as you're kind of listening to this. You're still at a crawling height, but you feel almost like the walls around you are pressing in not quite as firmly, and you almost feel like you could maybe like push them aside a little bit and kind of physically move them, like they kind of slide around a bit as you kind of press against them. But what you do here are two sets of footsteps, not too far away from you. Like they're not in reaching distance, but you could probably, if you were like running, you could probably catch up to them in one turn. And you also then start to hear that slithering sound again, which is what kind of alerted you in the first place to something going on. You can hear that and you can hear from the footsteps as well as the slithering that it's footsteps on stone. It's on that stone that you could kind of get a bit of a feel for, as opposed to the kind of carpeted sound that you were hearing before everything happened. You can also tell that the footsteps are past where the walls of the corridor should be. So not only the walls where your corridor are like pressing against you, but also where the walls of the corridor were when you were in it originally. They seem like they're kind of past that point, which doesn't quite make sense. But that's what you hear. It smells very sort of dry. You're starting to get like, while this sound is playing, it's almost like all of your senses, your hearing comes back the most, but you get like the dull senses from all your other senses. Dull senses. And you can get like, it smells dry, but not, there's no like warmth that there was when you first were in this corridor. I mean, it wasn't like warm, but it was like a building, like a used building. This feels almost more like a cave kind of sense, but a very dry cave.
Okay. Egner is going to keep on playing the sound because now he's got this kind of he's got this association where he only has access to his senses when he's playing this thing. So he's going to keep on doing that, and he's going to keep on crawling, and he's going to try and get a bead and a direction on where that slithering sound is coming from. And he's going straight to there, and he's got some intense emotions. He's just picturing some kind of like big gnarly snake or something, and he's just going to grab that snake and he's going to do a Steve Irwin wrestling match with it, and just I don't know. That's his plan.
Okay. So you notice that while you're moving, while the sound is playing, you're not really, there's nothing like stopping you. There's no resistance. As soon as the sound stops, you almost come up against a wall, like something is trying to stop you moving forward. But that wall seems to go away once this sound is breaking through. Okay, I'm going to keep moving forward. So you keep moving forward, and you eventually feel like you've made quite a dent in the distance towards this slithering sound. And as you feel you're getting yourself getting closer, a different sound breaks through. It's different sound breaks through. You hear a voice that you know well, and it says, "Agner, it's not safe here. We should go back." And it's Ellie's voice.
Okay. He'll say, "Ellie, how did you get here?"
Finnegan told me where you were. I came down as soon as I could. We need to turn back. The others they've already left. We need to go.
He's gonna do an insight check, is what he's going to do. Oh, that's not a straight number. There we go. 17 plus 7 is 24 insight.
Okay. As you're listening, you're so used to her voice now, even though it's not been that long since you last saw her. Actually, you've not been down here that long. There's something a little bit off. Like she sometimes hits a tone that's like not maybe her natural tone. There's a very slight crack in her voice as if it's trying to like recalibrate almost how it's supposed to sound.
Mm.
But it's close enough that when you first heard it, it gave you like a sharp shock of like Ellie's down here kind of feeling.
Mm-hmm.
But as you're listening, there's something a little bit not quite right.
Hmm. In that case, he will say to Ellie, Ellie, I know that you're concerned, but it would make me feel better if you went and collected the others. I have something to attend to. Okay, can you do that for me? Can you go get the others and gather us all together?
Okay. As you say that, you hear the slithering sound again, and I would like you to please roll initiative.
Okay. Oh, come on. Cannot even roll in my designated rolling area to save my life. I get a total of 5, as usual. Agner is
Okay.
slow to respond, slow on the uptake.
Okay. I am gonna jump to. Should we go to? Let's go, Leah.
So,
Leah.
so in the other people's visions, though, I mean, they will have been hearing this weird sound the whole time, right?
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. But
Yeah.
yeah.
So Leah, you are walking down this right-hand corridor with the 3 guys around you, just trying to like get out of this place, and then suddenly you hear birds and grass and crackling fire, and then you hear Halifax's voice, and then Eridu's, and it's not coming from the people next to you where you know they are. Like you turn to look at them, and their mouths aren't moving. They don't seem to have noticed the sound either. They're not like looking around or anything. Their eyes are locked on you basically, but they have been the whole time. What do you do when you hear it?
I'm going to turn toward it, try to find the source of the sound.
Okay. You look up and down the corridor. There doesn't seem to be anything different.
Is the sound like playing all around me, or is it coming from a direction?
You can get a vague sense of a direction, but it doesn't make sense. Mm-hmm. Like there's a wall directly next to you, and the sound seems to be coming through the wall.
I'm going to try to put my ear up against the wall and see if it gets louder or try. It's like, anything that isn't this seems great.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you put your ear up against the wall, and do a perception check.
Really? Why do I keep rolling 6s? 13.
It takes you a little while. You kind of stand there listening to the wall as the guys around you are kind of like, Sister Leo, we should probably keep moving. But you kind of like push them, and they do stuff. Yeah. And it takes a few plays. You hear this sound the entire loop. It's not like totally clear for you because it's not like directly in front of you, but you can pick out the kind of tones of Halifax's voice, the tones of Eridu's voice. You hear the sort of creak of the door swinging open. You don't hear the gasp because it's such a close sound that you probably would need to be closer to hear it. But you can kind of put it together that it sounds like a time that you would have had at the Grove before you came here. And then you hear Igna speak, talking to Ellie. You don't hear like any voice coming back to it, but you hear him speaking. And again, it's like it's through the wall. And as you kind of pinpoint on this sound, it's almost like the wall isn't quite as solid. Like you feel like if you lean on it a little bit, it kind of like pushes into the side a little bit, like a fake cardboard wall in a TV show. It's not really there. But the guys around you are kind of like trying to urge you onwards. What do you do?
I tell them to wait where they are. I want to investigate something.
Okay.
And
they nod.
I try to push at the wall further, or like try to figure out how to get around it.
Okay. Do you want to do a strength check? You can do athletics if you want, if it makes a difference. I don't know.
They're both terrible.
Okay.
So let's see how well this goes. Ooh, 15.
Okay. You you push against this wall, actually giving it all you've got, and it starts to shift. And it's almost like you feel like you're starting to phase through it, like it kind of flickers. When the sound, I mean, technically where I put you, the sound probably stopped playing, but it kind of solidifies and then gets thinner and more like flimsy every so often, and you manage to push your way through it. And as you do, you see Igna stood holding a box in his hand and pulling his sword out with the other. And I'd like you to roll initiative for me, please.
Ah. Wow, that's an unexpectedly good roll. Rolled a 19 plus 1, so that's a 20 total.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
And I'm going to jump to Halifax now. So, Halifax, you rolled your investigation check, and it nicely lines up time-wise with suddenly, as you're kind of looking around, you hear something different. You hear birds crackling fire. You hear your own voice, and then you hear Eridu's voice, and it's almost like because you've lived this moment before, like you know what you're saying in that, like it's distant, but you can pick out what you're saying in it. It's just casual conversation, but you know it's something that's happened before. The other two carrying the body are ahead of you. They don't really turn around and look at you. They seem to be giving you like ultimate cold shoulder. What do you do?
So where am I? Am I hearing this from behind me or?
It's to the right of you at quite some distance. So again, it's through a wall. It's not in a place that would make sense.
Is this while I'm still in the room then? They've gone into the corridor?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, first of all, I'm going to go up to the wall and sort of press against it and press my ear to it and see if I can listen a bit more closely, see if I can get any more info. But you're saying I recognize the pattern of conversation.
Yeah.
In that case, yeah, I'll pull away from the wall, give it a sly look, and try to concentrate hard on putting my hand through the wall, assuming that it's either some illusion or a portal or something. And I may very well break my hand doing this, but I'm just gonna go.
How hard are you doing it?
Um, I am going to launch my hand forward because, as far as I'm concerned, beating illusions is all about mind over matter, isn't it? If my mind's not engaged properly, then it's fine. So yeah,
Okay.
pretty hard.
Do a. I'm gonna do it as a save. Do a dex save for me.
Yep.
I mean, 9.
Okay. I mean, it's not a 1. It's all right. Okay. So you launch your hand out to the side, thinking, "Yeah, just chop straight through this thing," and you hit solid wall. It doesn't damage you, but like it's hard enough that it kind of like bends your nails back a little bit, kind of thing, but you don't take damage. As your hand sort of like stops against it, the sound, you realize that the sound had stopped in that point. And then as it starts to refresh and starts again, like from the beginning, your hand where it currently is, at the point where you're concentrating more on the sound rather than pushing your hand through, your hand starts to kind of move through this wall. As soon as you start concentrating on it and thinking, like, I'm going to get through this wall, it's like there's something behind your hand pushing you back.
Well, certainly right now I'm thinking that this is some more magical shenanigans of the dungeon, but perhaps not necessarily controlled. It may very well be. I may be given a choice between sticking with the choice I've made, making my bed and lying in it, or going back to a simpler time. Perhaps there's a greater message to all of this. So, what does Halifax do? Because this is what he's convincing himself the choice is between. Sticking with the repercussions of his choices, or with great difficulty getting back to a simpler time. Ooh, that actually does present its own challenge, because it's, rather than it being easier to go to the less conflict heavy area and harder to stay with the conflict, it's easier to stay with the conflict.
Break on through to the other side, Halifax. Gnar believes in you, and he's going to keep on pressing that button.
Yeah.
Do you want a minute to think about it? Because I can move on to Eric while you think about it if you want. No?
I will, taking in everything that I've just had feedback-wise, and knowing that my hand went through when I wasn't thinking about that, I will concentrate on the voices, and while thinking about them as hard as I can, trying to ignore myself and my body and my surroundings, I will whisper an apology to Aigner and Leah, who can't hear me, that they're down a corridor, but I know that I've said it at the very least.
And you move to the right?
Yes.
Through the wall, yeah.
Yeah.
As you do this, and as you whisper, "I'm sorry," you slide through this wall as if it's made of like some sort of gloopy, like, kind of texture. And you find yourself on the other side, and as you turn to look from where you just came from, there's no wall there. You're standing in an open cavern. You can see the door that you originally came down from behind you. There's no corridor. It doesn't look like there ever was a corridor. You can see a door at the very far end of this, and throughout the cavern there are big pillars reaching up to the ceiling made of stone. It's not man-made. It looks like it's sort of worn away stone pillars. You see Agner holding a sword and a box, seemingly speaking to somebody that you don't see who it is, and you see Leodin, like 30 feet away from you, also looking at Agner. Doesn't seem to have noticed you yet. And I'm gonna need your roll initiative as well, please.
Okay. Ooh. 18, 19, 20, 21. 21.
Oh man, everyone's doing way better than Egner at initiative.
All right. And with that, I'm going to jump back to Eridu, who is currently being pinned to the ground as he flails towards his dad, trying to claw at him. You've got like 8 drow trying to pin you down, and at the moment, as you kind of sweep and kind of grab hold of the end of your father's rope, you hear birds, footsteps, the crackling of fire, and then the tone of Halifax's voice followed by your own voice. Again, it's too hard to kind of pick out exactly what the words are, but you, from the pattern of the conversation, you almost feel like you maybe could remember it. There's not been that many times that recently that you've kind of sat down with Halifax and had a conversation around a fire while people were drinking and singing drunkenly, So, what do you do?
Well, initially, being in this state of high tension, hearing Halifax's voice, I would be calling out to him for help. And then sort of taking the moment of recognizing that this isn't actually Halifax here talking, because hearing my own voice is very unsettling. I kind of just stop fighting the guards pinning me down and listen. And can I listen long enough to hear what the conversation is, or is it already gone by the time I kind of chill?
So the first time round, it's already gone. It feels like the person, Ellie, who has recorded this, she's just been doing almost like a walking tour of this place. So she's only catching a snippet of the conversation rather than recording the conversation. But you hear the grassy footsteps turn to gravel, and then you hear the door open, and then it stops. And then a couple of seconds later, it starts again, and eventually it loops back around to the conversation. And you can sort of pick up enough if you listen to it long enough, that it's a passing conversation that you had with Halifax, not long before everything kicked off at the Grove. So this was before the whole going looking for Emily, going and finding Leah, all of that. You can kind of pick up that that's when this was recorded, but it's not a significant conversation or anything. It's just small talk. But at this point, the drow are trying to haul you up from the ground. Your father's pulling himself away and sort of brushing himself down. What do you do?
Eridu growls at Egrian. How would you know about that conversation? What tricks are you playing on me? Why don't you just let me go? Let me die.
So, what are you talking about?
Don't play games, Egrian. You've been deceiving me from the start. There's no way I would make this choice. Not at all. You've been lying to me, and I know it.
I hate that we have to go through this every time. Every time you've been out drinking the night before, this is what happens. I feel like I should tell that damn tavern owner to stop serving you, but look, I'm not lying to you. You made these decisions. This war and this fight is been in your hands for months now. Stop putting it on me.
I would never. I've fought this for longer than just a few years. I would never make this choice.
Well, I don't know what to say.
Oh my god.
I'm sure. I'm sure the clerics will see you. You could. They'll help you talk you through it again and give you something for the stress to help you sleep. I don't know. Just
No, your gods aren't my gods. Your clerics don't heal. They only steal and take. You only steal and take, and you have killed the most precious person on this planet, or forced me to do so because of your greed. Nothing is better than this,
look.
Adrian. Nothing at all.
I didn't want to do this, but I'm tired of this fight with you, Eridu. And he clicks his fingers into the air, and one of the drow, a drow that you couldn't see before, a drow appears around the corner, and he's pulling with him Ellie alongside him, by like a rope, and she obediently follows along after him, her eyes down at her feet and at the floor. And as they get closer to you, the drow yanks on the rope and it pulls her down onto her knees on the ground. Your father, Egrin, says, Eridu, I think keeping people from your past around is not a good idea. I'm worried that having her around still is what keeps on bringing this up.
Seeing her and kind of recognizing what Agreen is doing, Eridu lunges forward toward Ellie and grabs her by the shoulders and looks her dead in the eye and says, "Is this real? Tell me. This is all a lie."
As she sort of collapses under you and looks up at you with like pure fear, like you just, this is like more fear than you've ever probably seen in anyone's eyes before. That sound starts again, and you can still hear it at the back of your mind. And for the briefest moment, Ellie flickers, like she briefly flickers out of existence, but then she's back there solid again between your hands. And as you kind of blink at this, you look up and you see Igna stood in the distance pulling a sword out, and you can see him mouthing something as if he's speaking to somebody, but you can't hear words from him. And you look up, you look slightly across to the right, and you see Leah looking at Eridu and Halifax looking at Leah. Just stood in the middle of this town square. What do you do?
I'm gonna turn to Agrian with just complete understanding and pull out one of my sticks and, oh wait, those are gone. I can't see anything.
Oh yeah.
Shit.
Well, I forgot that too, so it's fine.
It's okay.
Now
I
you
mean,
know
I
how
actually,
it
no.
feels.
Actually, to be fair, I'll go back on it a little bit.
'Cause it's
Every
part of
time
the
that
illusion.
sound plays, you get your sight back.
yeah.
So when the sound stops, it's gone again. So, okay, maybe you didn't. Even then, you would have seen her fear because it was playing while you grabbed hold of her. So
out of curiosity, at any point would I come to realize that my sticks may actually be still in their sheaths as opposed to not? Because I'm assuming in the illusion I've drawn them and I've done stuff, but in the real world I don't think I have.
Do you stop to try and like feel for them or anything?
Yeah. I mean, so I've been rolling checks to see how I like react to these things. Twice I rolled a 1 and once I rolled a 20.
Okay.
So the reason why I kept like floundering forward in this illusion, even though as a player I know what's going on, is because Eridu hadn't figured it out yet. But like by the time that 20 comes along, I think that he's like full on realized this is, I mean, not realized, but assumes this is a Finnegan trick.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm gonna go to reach for my sticks, and I rolled a 17, I guess, on an investigation check.
Yeah. So as you reach down, you can't see them there, and it's starting to click in your head like I shouldn't be able to see. That's weird. And you can't see them there, but you put your hand there, and you can feel something where it should be, but it's not there. And you can like pick it up and feel like you can pull it out, but you're not holding anything. It like your hand feels it, but you can't see it. Basically,
Hmm.
they are there.
So, once they're there, I'm gonna go ahead and just make the assumption that like that breaks a bit of the illusion, and I can see again since the blindness is directly linked to the
Mm-hmm.
weapons themselves. And I'll point it at Egrian and I'll say, "I knew it. I would never choose a future like this." And then kind of look above me and say, "Finnegan, this is just another one of your tricks, and I won't fall for it. Not any longer."
Okay. Um, the people around you don't really seem to react, and actually, as you start piecing it together, they start flickering as well. And while this flickering is happening, you start to see through the town walls, the floor, the sky. Everything darkens, and you can now start seeing this cavern breaking through like everything around you. Um, and you look down in your arms, and Ellie is gone. You holding the shape of her shoulders, but there's nothing there. And as
Okay.
you look up, you still see your friend stood, prepared. And as you follow that eye line, you see, and now all of you see, apart from Agner, but you know,
Yeah,
he's
no.
used to it.
He's-
You see on one of the huge stone pillars holding this ceiling up a thick black snake twisted around this pillar. And it's twisted up, and then its head comes right back down again, and it's almost like face to face with Agner. Agner, you can feel this thing's breath in your face.
Nice.
Um, and it hisses, uh, you fed me well enough. Now it's time to finish the meal. And Eridu, roll initiative, please.
Okay, I rolled a total of 8.
With how bad this thing's breath is, shit has gotten very real. And,
Okay.
yeah. Agner just immediately snaps into battle mode. Like, oh, okay.
Ooh, does battle music start to play?
Yeah. Obviously, I would choose.
Recognize that music.
Yeah, that's like what is that Final Fantasy VII kind of vibes right there?
Yeah,
That's like.
pretty sure that's the
Oh
final.
no, that sounded like Halo to me.
Oh no,
No, it's Final Fantasy. It's definitely Final Fantasy.
Hmm.
It's
Well,
like my
Halo
favorite game ever. Okay.
So.
So,
Halifax is to go first. You're stood in this like it's just a massive open empty cavern. It's like 300 foot by 300 foot kind of. It's huge. You're all about 30 to 40 feet apart from each other. The snake is right up in Agnes' face. The snake is probably about so it's like 30 and 60. It's about 60 feet away from you, Halifax. What do you want to do?
quick, be awesome.
Lightning bolt. So give me a dexterity saving throw for the snake.
Classic lightning bolt.
So I'm just gonna take half a step forward, slam my staff into the ground to summon the lightning, rip the lightning up from the ground, and then sort of swing it towards the giant snake.
Okay.
This will actually make Agner feel a lot better, you know, even though lightning is winging by his face or whatever, he just knows like, oh, that means Halifax is here to protect us. That's what that means.
So that's a. Did you say it was Dex?
Yeah, 17's the DC.
Oh, okay, it's 9. Oh. Okay.
And that is 40 on the 11d6 I get to use when casting it at 6th level.
Ha 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 ha. All right. Okay.
But that's my 1/6 level spell slot gone. And then
Okay.
I shall move towards, so I can see everyone, basically.
Yep.
Yeah.
You can see Eridu is standing on his feet. No, he looks like he's holding something,
You can see he's not
Like-
dead.
like he's shaking something. But yeah, you can see that he's not dead. He's not lying unconscious on the floor somewhere.
Halifax, why did you kill me?
And he's not say that because he has no idea.
That's true. Yeah.
Is Aigner right in front of the snake thing?
Like face to face.
Then I will, after launching that lightning bolt, run towards Aigner. I'll stand side by side with him.
Okay,
Sick.
so that's 60 feet towards him. So
So I'll move my 30 feet.
cool. Okay. I need my thing up. How do I get onto my other bloody? Okay. Oh my god. This is why you don't do everything as bloody screenshots. Okay. Okay. So you run towards him. At this point, the snake seems to hiss into Agnes' face and then pulls back and then moves, kind of winds his way back down the pillar and burrows into the earth. And he goes, it goes right down into the earth and out of sight. I will give Agner an attack of opportunity on it.
Okay, sweet. Okay. Well, that might not hit, but I really want it to, because if it does, it has to stop moving. Hold on a second. Alright, so that is a 17 to its AC.
Doesn't hit. You swing wide as it slips its way down into this earth and out of sight.
Damn.
It's now Leah's turn. So there's a hole. It leaves a hole. It's not like disappeared, but
No. I guess I can try. Yeah, Leah is still reeling and confused and doesn't actually know what's real and what isn't. But she, hearing the snake talk, she is now royally pissed. And is going to Eldritch Blast. Was going to Eldritch Blast it, and I don't know if she can just shout it down the hole.
well, you'd need to move to the hole and look down it. I guess you
Right.
need to see the target for Eldritch Blast. I'm not sure.
Probably. Okay. Yeah. So she'll run over and do that then. Can she?
Okay.
Can she see it? Can she?
Do a perception check for me.
That's a good roll. $25.
Okay. Yes, you can just see the end of it as it's moving away. This thing seems to move fast, though. But you can see enough of it to fire something down at it.
Okay. Okay. 21, 20, and 19 are my attacks.
Ooh, what?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. They all hit, I think.
Okay. 35 damage.
35. What kind of damage is it? It's just spelled. Yeah, what kind of damage is it?
Emotional
Feeling.
damage. Let's be real, it's emotional damage.
It's unspecified in the book, though.
Okay. I guess
Eldritch Blast is force
attack
damage.
then.
What's that?
Alright, okay.
Force
Eldritch
damage?
Blast is force damage, yeah.
Emotional.
But really, it's
force
emotional damage.
Yeah.
How much did you
The
say
emotional
total?
force.
Sorry.
35. No, 30. Yeah, 35.
And nothing in the game is immune to emotional damage.
Oh yeah. That's a straight Eric move. He just made like pain damage a thing, and he's like, nothing has resistance to it. It's beautiful.
Because I made it up.
Okay, so you fire your Eldritch Blast down the hole, and it takes the hits, but then you lose sight of it through the hole as it emerges up back onto the surface again, and it emerges immediately behind Halifax. At this point, have I got a save for this? What did I do? Okay. Okay. It's going to an attack at Halifax. For 25 to hit. And it does, which I'm going to presume hits. I can't see the video right now. Does.
Oh, sorry, what kind of attack is it?
So it brings around its tail, and there's like a stinger kind of thing on the end of it.
Ooh, that's nasty.
So it is a piercing.
Could I ask it to make a wisdom saving throw? Because I am going to use my reaction to use instinctive charm on it. When a creature you can see within 30 feet of you attacks you, use your reaction to divert it to another creature if another creature is within the attack's range.
Yeah, just have it hit Agner. It's fine. It's fine.
Is that
It's all
a
good.
charmed effect, though? Is
It-
that like...
It's called instinctive charm, although according to D&D Beyond, it doesn't give the charm effect. I'm not sure. I don't have this look on me.
If, say, a creature was immune to charm, do you think it would work?
It depends
That's
on
a
your
fair question.
strictly mechanically. It doesn't look like that, but D&D Beyond I don't trust. I would think, especially given the name and the nature of things, that yes, it would be a charm effect.
Okay. Are we all happy with counting that as like...
Page 117, Kyle.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. It's it doesn't say anything about that it is actually a charm effect, but it does make sense. Oh wait, hold on. Creatures that it's the last line. Creatures that can't be charmed are immune to this effect. Sorry, that's the accurate situation right
That's fine. D&D Beyond omits that.
there. Word. It's
Uh,
frustrating how that
Okay.
happens.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
in that case, I've got no defense. So what was the damage?
19 piercing damage. And I would also like you to do a... I lost it again. It's on the page. A Constitution saving throw. Please.
Don't wanna.
It's okay. Agner's got you covered. I got lesser restoration, dog.
Ooh, nat 20.
Woo, baby.
Okay.
Nice. I get a plus
Um,
3 on Constitution, so 23.
Okay. Oh, you still take feel really bad about this. You still take 21 poison damage.
Ooh, wow.
And you feel like a wooziness come over you, but you manage to sort of stave it off, and like your eyes got heavy, but you managed to blink them away again. And then it's the snake's turn. So,
Wait a minute.
so, being above Halifax, yeah, it's gonna be this. The snake then brings its face down towards you and bites at you. 19 to hit. Does that hit Halifax? I'm not looking at my camera. Yeah? Okay. Okay, so you take. Oh, I'm rolling sick there. Should have given me that. You take one. You take 21 piercing damage. And I need a dex save from you, please, if you're still up.
I am, yeah.
Okay.
Oh my.
Just joking.
I mean, it's another nat 20, but this is the Google Dice Roller. So
Okay. That's fine.
Hey, I always
trust
trust Google Dice Roller. Have I ever said that I don't?
I
Okay.
trust it. It's fine. It's correct. That's good. All good. It seems to try and swallow you, but you manage to like drop and roll out of the way just in time to miss it. It's then going to it's then going to turn, and a cone of energy sweeps out across the room. And so there. So I'm gonna need Halifax, Agna, and Leah to make a dex save for me, please.
Okay.
Eridu yawns.
9.
I've got
Okay.
I've got a modified 20. Modified.
Okay. 5. Okay.
Modified
So-
is when you turn your dice to face the 20, right?
Being blind. Okay. So, Halifax and Leah take 13 psychic damage. Agni take half of that.
Okay.
Just like, I don't know what that is.
Rounded down was movie 6.
Okay. And then it is Eridu's turn. So Eridu, you see the snake standing up. Like Halifax, is Halifax still up? I was gonna look.
Oh, he's
keep an
up.
eye on your health, but yeah.
Oh wait,
Huh?
no, he's not.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
You see Halifax drop to the ground in front of the snake, and you can see Leah and Agna kind of like take some like suffer from whatever this snake has breathed out towards them. You're about 40 feet away from it, and like the other side of it from those guys. That's why it didn't get you, because it aimed at them. What do
Right.
you do?
Well, seeing Halifax dropped and like having this whole worst case scenario nightmare melt away, only to be, in combat with a giant snake. Halifax, or not Halifax, Eridu is feeling quite gleeful, in a very predatory way. He gingerly tosses his broken half of his staff from one hand to the other, and then dives at the creature. His claws growing, his teeth growing, his eyes just going wild as he does, and I miss. hmm That would be a 13 versus its AC. I already know that's a miss. So I pretty much just like bounce into it, and then step back and laugh, and use my bonus action to use a key point to do the dodge effect. So kind of like just bounce around, ready to move out of the way if it attempts to attack me.
You're doing great, Eridu. You're doing great.
You don't know. You're too busy being.
Is that the end of your turn?
Yep. That's all I got.
The snake now burrows back into the ground and out of sight. It is Agnes' turn now. Agnes, you can feel where the snake is. Like you can feel it rumbling through the ground under your feet. So like you can feel it go in there, and then you can tell where it is. But it is like under stone, so like you kind of can't really stab a saw through the stone.
Well, for sure. Do I have a sense of if it's like coming back to me?
You feel it moving towards Laodin, which is, I mean, it's kind of is towards you anyway, because she went. I should be right next to you right now, I think.
Okay.
So.
Well, I'm going to assume that I heard Halifax's screams of pain and heard his body hitting the ground. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run over to him and see if I can get a hand on his body. And
okay. Yeah, you can reach him. It's fine.
Okay. In that case, I will use a second level spell slot to heal my boy. I'm gonna heal my boy.
Sweet.
Pretty good roll. Pretty decent roll. That is a total of 13 hit points from my boy.
Sweet.
Sweet. And actually, let me check one thing really quick. Oh, that's as an action. I don't know if it'd be worth it to do my action surge just to try and do that channel divinity thing. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I did no, it's not gonna be worth it because I was just gonna summon an illusion, and it's like, while the snake's not even up here. I don't know. I'd rather save my action surge for something a little more crazy, dramatic, or helpful, or just a bunch of attacks or something like that. So so I moved over. I healed Halifax a bit, and then I'm just going to stand with the shield at the ready, crouching a bit, turning back toward where I assume the snake is going to be, and I'm gonna say also, Leah, watch out. That's what
Okay.
I'm gonna do.
Okay. As you shout this, the snake comes back up through the hole, actually, that it originally made. It seems to have like connected, and comes up out over Laodin. It's kind of over both of you, but oh no, you moved to Halifax. Yeah, okay, it's just over. And it's gonna take a bite down at Laodin. For 32 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Oh shit. Oh man.
Jeez.
It hits
This
hard.
is gnarly.
Take 26 piercing damage. And can I get a dex save, please, as well, as it tries to swallow you?
Don't be swallowed. Oh no.
17.
17. Where am I looking? Oh my god. No, that's not enough. These jaws come down over you.
Wait. Can I have a reaction. Can I do that before the jaws come down?
What's the reaction?
When I take damage, I can teleport away 60 feet.
Oh,
Okay, yeah. The
shit.
teeth will hit you first.
I'm gonna do that.
Absolutely.
Oh, that is.
Alright, good call.
That's the most handy possible thing for the moment.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I'm going
Okay.
to move over to where Egnar and Halifax are, I think. Unless you don't want me
Okay.
to. In which case I won't.
No, I think that's a good idea. Safety in numbers at the moment. And just in general, it's like we need to find a way to get this snake beaten up on Egnar, who actually has hit points.
What was my damage again? It was 26?
Yeah. So 26 is something like that.
26, okay. I'm out.
You're out? Is it?
No, like I'm out of
Okay.
Peace out. Yeah.
I'm still
Getting away from this snake.
Okay, so that was that. Okay.
Wait, hold on.
Things seem to.
Hold on. Did you skip Halifax's turn?
Nope.
I think the snake gets to go every time.
But I thought Halifax went before Leah.
Halifax
didn't
went
get to go.
first.
Wait.
I'm not.
Leah's not gone. That was a reaction.
Oh, duh. Alright, I got fooled. My bad.
That's alright.
Yeah.
Okay. So things start to like shift around you. Agna, someone starts to call you from from further off in the chamber, and it's Emily's voice, and she is saying, Agna, I need your help. Please, you need to get this rock fell on me. I came down here to find you. I need your help. Leodin, you hear. I'm here or even here. You hear Ellie. I think that would make sense. You hear Ellie, and she's like panting, and it sounds like she's been running. She's like, "Oh my god, I'm so glad I found you. It took me so long to get down here. Finnegan, he sent me in right back at the start. I don't know why I didn't just send me down here in the first place. Oh, okay, look, we need to go. We need to get out of here. We need to do it now. Eridu, you can see. I mean, actually, no. To be fair, because so you hear things. Leah, you turn around and you can see Ellie. She stood sort of in the doorway, like kind of hands on her knees, like trying to catch her breath. Eridu, you hear. Interesting. You hear. Is he called? He's called Ticks, right? Or Tricks?
Ticks.
Yeah. You hear that familiar voice saying, it's time we talk terms, Eridu. And then Halifax hears. I've done this totally the wrong way around because I said the wrong person for Eridu. For Agnes, sorry. It's fine.
That's alright. You can switch them too. It's like Ignar hasn't like responded or anything yet.
True.
You can switch them.
It's fine. It's fine. I'm rolling with it.
Okay.
So Halifax, you hear. You hear Finnegan. And you hear him, and when you turn to look, he's stood in the doorway. Saying, you guys, I don't think this is a good idea. I think we made a bit of a mistake. Look, I can open a portal, and we can all go home. We can finish off Agnes' whiskey cabinet. You know, let's just go home. I mean, there's like half a bottle left, but you know, it's fine. Let's go. And then it's Halifax's turn.
Is there an obvious exit?
He stood at the doorway that it looks like the one that you originally came through. So again, like it, you know, you would expect there to be a corridor there, but there isn't. It looks like you just stepped straight out into this cavern, and then you thought you were in a corridor.
Okay. And is anyone right next to the snake's still there?
Oh yeah.
Snake is. It came up and attacked, didn't it? So yes, it's still up. You can still see the snake by Leodin.
Okay. And
and you actually, because I know it.
what size is the snake?
Size category?
The snake is
It's at least
gargantuan. It's
oh, really? That big?
huge. Oh yeah.
So it's like
massive.
it's like an adult red dragon, or like an ancient red dragon size, like that kind of thing, or like.
Yeah, this looks like it's been down here for centuries, and it's been feeding off something. It looks fat and engorged on something as if it's fed recently, but it looks like it's been growing and thriving for many years.
Sweet.
Okay. Is there anyone that I'd be able to move to within my 30 feet?
You're right next to Leah. And
Yeah.
me.
Yeah,
Yeah, I got it a bit mixed up. I forgot that Leah
Okay.
moved. So yeah, there's no one near the snake, and Leah and Agner are together,
And are we some ways from the doorway?
and you. Yeah. So you'd probably be like a third way into this room, so you're like 100 foot away from the doorway.
Okay. In that case,
And you can see another one at the far end as well. Another doorway.
but Eridu's fast. He's fine. Around the three of us, I will cast Wall of Force in a sphere,
Oh.
and I will start hamster balling us towards the door.
I'm gonna say we are not prepared for this, and we just kind of bump.
Agner has no idea what's going on. Are you kidding me?
But not again.
Not again.
Pile of
Exactly.
bodies in here.
Oh my gosh.
In fact,
Okay.
I might shout out an instruction to Aigner. Still a little too late for him to do anything about it, but just like, Aigner, run forward.
Okay, because that makes a whole lot of sense, Halifax.
Okay,
Wow.
which doorway are you going towards? There's the one that you came through originally, 100 foot behind you, and you can see another doorway, like 200 foot away, like opposite side. There's like an orange glow coming from that direction.
I mean, so long as no one like pinches me or forces me to make any concentration checks, this wall of force can last for 10 minutes and is entirely impervious to all damage. So, I mean, we're golden no matter which door. Leah, Aigner, which door?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
The one we didn't come through? I don't
Excellent.
know which one you came through.
I'll shout for Eridu as well. And just like, the door! And lead us towards the door that's 200 feet away, the one that we didn't come through initially.
All right, I'm gonna say that you take a bit of you roll your way around and like you aim to go around the snake, so you're not just gonna go like straight through it.
Yeah. Also, it's immune to damage, but it's not immune to being knocked about. We are in a hamster ball. Like, it could try and throw the hamster ball around to mess us up.
It could.
Why did you
and
say
it
that?
Might. So as you start to run this hamster ball towards this doorway, the snake. To be honest, I can't remember if it was in the ground or out of the ground, so I'm gonna say it was out of the ground. Slithers towards. Yeah, it's gonna go straight towards this ball that it sees you disappear into. Can it see through it? Is it like?
Yeah, it's a.
Yeah.
It's a.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna move towards you guys.
It is just a wall of food.
Okay. And it's going to try to bite down on it as it goes past. I mean, I presume it doesn't have an AC.
No, it just says it is immune to all damage and can't be dispelled by dispel magic.
Whew,
Okay.
that's a
It even
great
so
spell.
it-
ethereal plane, so ghosts can't get us.
Okay. So it clamps
Huh.
its teeth down onto this wall, and it's like it springs back out of its mouth. So you're fired like across the room, and not towards the door, like to the left, as it tries to bite down on you.
Just like
And then it turns to look at the one person that's not seemingly in this protection. But it's now Leah's turn.
Leah's going to attempt to scramble to her feet and help Halifax run the ball somewhere.
Okay. Can you fire through it? Like, can you attack through the wall of force? Or is it literally
Don't think so. No.
Probably not. And
No.
I mean, I could with my emotions maybe because they're not thing, but also if the snake is immune to charm, I don't know what else it's immune to.
Yeah. Basically, anything that requires you to just see the creature, then yeah, you could use those effects and spells and things. But yeah, like swords and bows are going to be useless.
Yeah, it just says nothing can physically pass through the wall. Is what it says.
Okay, well maybe I can do. I can try hold monster.
Hmm.
That would be
On the-
sick.
On the snack.
Does that count as charm? Is that
It
charm?
doesn't. It's actually paralyzed. The only thing it says it doesn't have an effect on her is the undead.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if I need to look it up further.
Yeah, I'm looking on it as well. Yeah, it says that has no effect on the undead. At the end of each turn, target can make another wisdom saving throw. Yeah.
I think it should work.
Yeah, I don't think it's a oh, and it's I mean it is an enchantment spell, but it only mentions paralyze, not like charm
Okay.
or anything.
So it's a save, right?
It
17.
Yeah, wisdom save.
Yeah, wisdom save.
Okay. So I rolled a what is it? Wisdom. So it got a total of 8. However, it's still going to pass.
It's got
So-
legendary shit going on, dude.
Mm.
And on that, mid combat, I think we probably should close up the session.
It is
On
3
it.
o'clock.
As Leodin tries to take this monster under her control, it just looks down at her and almost just goes, nah.
Wow. I do want to mention Eridu did take the dodge action, so if this snake goes after him, there's going to be...
Okay.
Yeah, just remember, Eridu's a dodging boy.
Dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge.
Dodge,
That's what he's
duck,
gonna do.
Dip, dive, and dodge. You said dodge twice.
Yeah,
All right.
because I took that action.
I know. So, with that being said, hey guys, thanks so much for joining us today. It was a very fun and lively session and a very lively Twitch chat as well. We really appreciate that. Thanks for cheering. Thanks for throwing those bits out. That's very sweet of you guys to support us in that way. And please join us next week where we will continue Finnegan's Finporium. And have a great day, y'all.
Bye.